What's going on? So there's been a lot of people recently reviewing this movie, I Am Legend, even though it came out in 2007. I have never seen it, so I put it in my Netflix, and it just came in the mail one day. 'Cause in Netflix, you have to put in like 100 movies, so you always have a continuous flow of movies coming in. You don't really get to pick what order they come in so much. But yeah, I didn't really like this movie at all. Like, from what good reviews I've read about it, it's supposed to be Will Smith's acting that carries the whole movie, and I didn't really take him seriously in this role. Like, Will Smith as a scientist, as a general in the army, I was like, I can't see Will Smith as a scientist, even if he's just acting. But yeah, like, I can watch some, like, you know, just brainless popcorn movies. This is pretty much all that was to me. So, like, had some alright like scenes and stuff. Like, the parts of the movie I did like, where he's going from apartment to apartment and, you know, breaking into people's places, you know, looting them, because everyone's dead in the future, right? So he's just walking around New York, going to stores, you know. I kind of like that idea. I kind of envy that a little too. I'd like to walk around, just like snoop through people's things after the human race has been obliterated, find out if people are living. He's got his dog Sam with him too, this cool little German Shepherd dog. But yeah, like, that's pretty much all I like. Like, I'm sure if you've heard anyone bitch about this movie before, they've griped about the special effects, and the special effects in this movie are awful. Like, the CGI graphics for the vampire infected people, it's just atrocious. And like, when he's hunting deer, even the deer is CGI graphics, and it's just blatant. It just looks very bad. It looks terrible. Like, it's 2007, and it was just the most half-assed CGI I've ever seen. It's like, can't they just get some actors and put on some paint, just like do something with like real people, do something realistic? Because this was just like, a lot of CGI looked okay. Like, CGI in Jurassic Park looks fine. Like, there's all kinds of CGI in movies these days you don't notice, when like, people are getting shot and heads are exploding. It's CGI, and it doesn't really, it's not blatantly obvious like it is in this movie. Like, it just looked so phony, like something out of a really bad like video game. It was just terrible special effects. I can't get over how bad it was. I have no idea why it was so bad, but it really killed the movie, really destroyed it. The ending wasn't that good in this movie either. But yeah, it's just Robert Neville running around New York. Oh yeah, and he's talking to himself. That's okay. But he's also got mannequins around, and this is kind of like what they were doing in The Stand too. But the guy in The Stand had like some sort of mental problem. There's the guy putting mannequins all over town to make it seem like there was people around, and talking to the guy at the video store, and he's just a mannequin, and talking about this cute girl he saw, and she was just a mannequin. Like, Robert Neville was in the army. He's a really smart scientist, and he can even like come up with a cure for this infected disease. Why is he talking to mannequins? Like, the fuck? I don't think I would ever like start setting up mannequins and talking to them just for company. Like, you got your dog, what else do you want? He's watching all these movies. There's another part where he was watching Shrek, and he knew it word for word. Oh, and that reminds me, like, how he bumped into the two other survivors. There was a woman and a little boy, and he was like, you know, his dog just died, and he decides he's going to commit suicide and try to take down as many infected people as he can. So he waits for nightfall and like starts running them over in his car, and you know, eventually they overwhelm him, and he's getting in a bind. And then right at that instant is when he's saved by this woman and his little boy, and it's like, what a stupid little plot device that was. It's just so stupid. And then they save him, and it's just, I don't know. I didn't really like this movie. It got a 7.1 on the IMDb and like 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know. Like, I can't even give this like a 50%. Like, I really didn't like it. Like, there were parts I liked, but it just didn't do it for me. Really wasn't a good movie. Sorry. Omega Man was good though. The movie this is kind of like a remake of 1971. Charlton Heston was in it, I think. That was a great movie. But this one, nah, I didn't like it at all.